the silent seed, the journey of an orphan who refused to disappear. The wind whispered through broken windows of the old house at the edge of Riverton, carrying the smell of dust and forgotten dreams. Ethan, a boy of 10, sat on the wooden floor, staring at the empty corner where his parents once kept their small shrine. He could barely remember their faces, just flashes of warmth, voices fading into silence. He had no siblings. His parents had died in a car accident, leaving him with nothing but a note from the hospital. "We love you, Ethan. Stay strong." But love, in its purest form, did not feed hunger. It did not keep you warm at night. And Ethan, staring at the peeling wallpaper, understood this better than most. Ethan learned quickly that the world would not soften for an orphan. At school, other children avoided him. Teachers treated him like a shadow that needed watching. Lunchtimes were the hardest. While others unwrapped sandwiches, he nibbled on bread he stole from the kitchen, hiding behind the bathroom door. "You'll never be anything, kid," whispered the bullies. Ethan repeated their words in his mind at night, over and over, until he hated himself. And yet, somewhere deep, a spark resisted. A small seed of belief, faint but unyielding. The orphanage was crowded and cold. Winters were especially cruel. Ethan learned to layer old rags, to eat slowly, to avoid trouble. He discovered the library, a room filled with old books smelling of mildew and ink. Here, Ethan found stories of heroes, kings, inventors, and explorers. "If they can rise, maybe I can too," he whispered one rainy afternoon, clutching a tattered book about inventors who started with nothing. Ethan was 12 when he met Mr. Lyle, the janitor, who had a secret, a talent for carpentry. One day, Ethan watched him repair a broken chair with precision and care. "You've got hands that can make things," Mr. Lyle said, eyes soft. "Don't waste them on pity." He gave Ethan small tools. That night, Ethan fixed a broken stool in the corner of the dorm. The first time he saw something broken turn into something useful, he felt alive. Ethan had never had a true friend. Until Milo, a boy who had run away from an abusive home, arrived at the orphanage. At first, they barely spoke. But one night, Ethan heard Milo crying. Instead of leaving, he sat beside him. "It's okay," Ethan whispered. "I know what it's like to feel nothing." They bonded silently, surviving hunger, cold, and bullying together. For the first time, Ethan felt not completely alone. Life had a cruel way of reminding him of fragility. At 14, Milo was sent to another city, leaving Ethan in silence again. The world suddenly seemed emptier. He failed his exams, lost a small scholarship, and watched as other boys advanced while he remained behind. That night, he wept in the library, head pressed to the cold floor. "Maybe I am meant to be nothing," he thought. But then he remembered the broken stool, the spark of pride when it stood upright. A small seed of hope hidden in despair, stirred again. At 16, Ethan left the orphanage. The city was huge, unforgiving. He slept in subway stations, scavenged for food, and took any work he could find washing dishes, carrying crates, delivering newspapers. One night, exhausted and shivering, he collapsed on a park bench. "Why am I still fighting?" he whispered to the sky, tears freezing on his cheeks. It was in that night, under flickering lamplight, that he realized he didn't fight for the world, he fought for himself. For the boy who once dared to dream despite having nothing. Ethan found work at a small carpentry shop. The master was harsh and impatient. Every mistake was met with a harsh word or a push. But Ethan's hands were steady, his mind hungry. He learned fast, staying late to practice, returning early before anyone else arrived. Slowly, wood bent under his touch, joints fit perfectly. Chairs and tables gleamed under his hands. His talent, once hidden, was being shaped into mastery. By 18, Ethan rented a tiny workshop. He fixed furniture, doors, and even doors no one else dared repair. Word spread. His first customer was a wealthy woman who had heard of the boy, with skill unmatched for his age. She offered him a large commission. For the first time, Ethan earned enough to sleep in a warm bed. But he didn't stop there. Every coin he saved was a brick in a foundation for his own future, not luxury. Years passed. Ethan's workshop became a small company. He hired other orphans, giving them skills and hope he once lacked. He returned to Riverton to the old orphanage. The walls were the same, but Ethan was different, tall, confident, silent strength in his eyes. "I promised you I'd make it," he whispered to the empty walls, a tribute to the boy who survived hunger and silence. Success attracted envy. Competitors spread lies. A fire destroyed part of his workshop, and a trusted employee betrayed him. For days, Ethan sat among ashes, staring at what he had built. It would have been easy to give up. Then he remembered Milo's voice from long ago. "It's okay to feel nothing, but don't let nothing stop you." Ethan rebuilt, better than before. His company expanded, reputation solidified. Every betrayal became a lesson, every loss a stone on the path he paved. By 27, Ethan was a man who had once been invisible. He owned a flourishing company, trained dozens of orphans, and remained humble. Yet he never boasted. His greatness was quiet, a soft echo in every chair, table, and creation his hands touched. He gave speeches not about wealth, but about resilience, hope, and silent determination. The world may forget you. People may ignore you. But if you refuse to disappear, the universe notices. A silent seed, when nurtured, can grow into a forest. Ethan sat alone one evening in his workshop, listening to the soft rhythm of the city. He smiled at a simple chair he had just finished. From a boy who had nothing, who had been broken, betrayed, and abandoned, He had built a life filled with purpose, love, and legacy. The boy who once whispered to the cold walls of an orphanage had grown into a man who whispered hope to the world. Even in silence, even in solitude, strength grows. Pain shapes the resilient. Hunger creates courage. No one defines your worth. Only you do. Never let your beginning dictate your ending.